Hi everyone, thanks for joining us here today, Cakes, Cooking and More. I'm Marie Lockwood. Today's recipe is garlic butter, fresh green beans, and Parmesan encrusted red potatoes. So let's see what we need. Okay, so for this recipe we have red potatoes that have been chopped up to bite-sized pieces. You can see I left the skin on. Now we're going to add a little bit of garlic, and this is minced garlic. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley, a little bit of butter, and you do want to get that melted first. It sounds like my oven is now ready. Alright, then you're just going to give that a good mix. Get a little butter and parsley and garlic on everything. Alright, then we're going to take our Parmesan, sprinkle that on top. And the amounts will be on the website this time from now on. So if you need a full recipe, you just go over to the website. Alright, so we're going to put this in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes. And at that time we'll take it out and stir it. And then we'll be back. Okay, now that our 30 minutes is up, we're just going to give these a nice little stir. Don't want to stir too much because we don't want to knock all the Parmesan off. Just kind of loosen them up a little. Now after that, you want to take a fork, pick a piece, and just try to cut it in half. If you can't cut it with a fork, it's definitely not done, and it shouldn't be at this point. Okay, so we're going to pop this back into the oven now. And this time we're going to cover it so that we don't end up with anything too brown. And we're going to leave it in there for another 25 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we've taken them out after that 25. They've started to soften. I can get a fork through them. They're still a little bit hard. It really depends on how many you're doing. The more potatoes you cook, the longer it takes. So what we're going to do is cover this and put it back in for another 10 minutes, and then we'll check them then. Okay, so for this recipe we have some fresh green beans. Just cut the tips off and then I break them in half. You don't have to, but they cook a little faster this way. Alright, what we're going to do is put them in a strainer and rinse them really well, because with fresh vegetables you never really know what's been poured on them or sprayed on them, so always rinse them, and then we'll be back. Alright, now that our green beans are clean, I'm just going to add those to our skillet with a little bit of butter, a little bit of garlic. You just want to turn that on about medium. We're just going to kind of almost saute them, but really we're looking for them to soften up a little bit. Fresh ones are not like what comes out of a can. They're a little stiff. You can hear them when you break, so it's not quite the same thing. So you do have to, like I said, soften them up a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, now that these are cooking and they're sizzling good, we just turn the heat down. Keep going until they've got a little bit of softness and give to them. It doesn't take long, just a couple of minutes. Alright, and those are done. Alright, so we're just going to pour those into our serving dish. Okay, now that these are all done, cooked all the way through, we are good to go. Now keep in mind that when you're cutting these, the larger your pieces and the more you're doing, the longer you're going to have to cook this. It really depends on how much you're cooking. So keep that in mind when you're cutting your pieces. You definitely want them at least bite size. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's it for our garlic butter green beans that were fresh and our Parmesan encrusted red potatoes. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks for joining us here at Cakes, Cooking and More. I'm Marie Lockwood. Have a great day.